Price is correct.
Okay. Are you set? Okay. Call this meeting of the Common Council to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Meyer? Here. Peachy?
Here.
Miller?
Here.
Brandel?
Here.
Lars?
Here.
Tully? Kraus? Here. Horn?
Here. Thank you. At this time, we'll entertain public participation. Anyone wishing to address the council may do so. We ask that you please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Seeing no one, move on to number 3, a public announcement regarding our trick-or-treat and Halloween parade hours will be October 26th from 3 to 6 p.m. for trick-or-treat, Halloween parade to follow at the end of that time period, and then I was informed that the Optimist Club will be again sponsoring and hosting a kids' Halloween party here at City Hall on Saturday, October 26th. So for the record, there will be a little bit of daylight for the younger children and a little bit of darkness for the older ones. We moved on to proposed ordinance number 8-19, an ordinance to repeal and replace section 270-1 parent E of the municipal code concerning sales in the public right-of-way. Alderman Horn, please.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. City of Jefferson proposed ordinance 8-19. The Common Council of the City of Jefferson, Wisconsin hereby ordains as follows. Section 1, Section 270- parent E, sales in the right-of-way is hereby repealed in its entirety and amended to include the following. 270-1 parent E, the section does not apply to the following organizations: Farmers Markets, Gamitlakite Days Incorporated, Autumn Fest, Holiday Parade of Lights, Santa House Hours, Rib Fest, Tomorrow's Hope, Live Music Foundation, Goat Fest, and National Night Out. Exemption does not apply to vendors not set forth within. The ordinance shall take effect after passage and publication and attestation as required by law. I so move.
Is there a second? Second. Second by Mr. Tully. And discussion?
Mr. Mayor, we were talking beforehand that perhaps a change of wording is needed for Goat Fest. I think you were telling me that the proper name of that should be Friends of Goat Fest?
Friends of Goat Island is the
Goat Island, okay.
is the organization that is being.
So I would suggest we make that change. And the other thing, I've been looking at the old section, or the old ordinance that we're replacing, and it had a provision that I think might be good to retain, and I didn't put it in the draft that's before the council. And that provision states a permit for farmers market is required under 270-2, which is the next ordinance down. And the way that's been interpreted is the actual sellers that make up, that come to the farmers market would still have to take out or pay for a fee to sell at the farmers market. And it's without that, I think it's unclear whether they would have to or not. So again, that's another change I would recommend making to the proposed ordinance.
So,
Honorable Mayor, I would like to make amendment to the ordinance 8-19 to reference Friends of Goat Island in lieu of Goat Fest, and the provision of 270-2 still be in effect for permits of farmers markets sellers.
okay, there's a motion to amend. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Brandel. Any discussion? Any concerns with that?
It would cover all vendors.
Okay, any other questions? First, we'll vote on the amendment. All in favor of approval, as Jim explained and Chris recommended, please signify by saying aye as Sarah calls your name. No if you're opposed.
Alderman Peachy?
Aye.
Miller?
Aye.
Brandel?
Aye.
Lars?
Aye.
Tully? Aye. Kraus?
Aye.
Horn?
Aye.
Meyer?
Aye.
Thank you. That is approved. And now proposed ordinance -8-19 as amended. Any other discussion?
Mayor, and I know we tabled this and discussed this about some of the names on here. I do have a slight concern that it says the following organizations. If Autumn Fest is an organization, it truly doesn't exist at present. And I know our city engineer explained there could be something down the road, but if you don't call it the exact same thing, I don't, you know, say you want to call it Fall Fest, well, guess what? That doesn't apply because you have listed specific organization here as Autumn Fest, which doesn't exist. And then I think the other one would be, and you had just mentioned it, about Santa's house hours, that there truly isn't vendors, not that there couldn't be, because that's held indoors. You had at least brought it up that it be discussed about, because if there aren't any, does that need to be in there?
I think that's a good point, Paul, and actually, there's 3 events here listed that are sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce. Could we perhaps achieve the same goal by just listing as Chamber of Commerce sponsored events, rather than enumerating Autumn Fest, Parade of Lights, and Santa's House Hours?
I think that might, if that's okay with the city attorney, that should probably be the way we go.
And that would kind of cover anything else that the
Good
Chamber
idea.
of Commerce may
Right.
want to do, whether it's spring, fall, or in between.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to offer that amendment?
Yeah, if I knew how to say it again, but yes, I would offer another amendment that the, make sure I get all these, the Autumn Fest Holiday Parade of Lights, and was it Santa House Hours, are all events sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce, so scratch those and put Chamber of Commerce events, is that what you
Chamber of Commerce sponsored events?
Sponsored events, yes, I would make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on that? Hearing none. All in favor of approval of the amendment, please signify by saying aye as Sarah calls her name. No.
Alderman Miller.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Lars.
Aye.
Tully.
Aye.
Kraus.
Aye.
Horn.
Aye.
Fire.
Aye.
Peachy.
Aye.
Okay, the amendment passes. Now, is there any other questions, comments, or suggestions? Hearing none. All in favor of approval as amended for the second time, please signify by saying aye as Sarah calls your name.
Alderman Randall.
Aye.
Lars.
Aye.
Tully.
Aye.
Kraus.
Aye.
Horn.
Aye.
Fire.
Aye.
Peachy.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Thank you. It's approved unanimously. Resolution number 39, tonight's consent agenda. Alderman Tully, please.
Thank you, Mayor. City of Jefferson Resolution Number 39, be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Jefferson, Wisconsin, that the consent agenda for October 1st, 2019 is hereby adopted. A, we had vouchers payable for September 2019 in the amounts of $246,221.57. Payroll summary for September 27th, 2019 in the amount of $171,804.44. B, licenses as approved by the Regulatory Committee. We had 2 operators licensed for Speedway approved, and we had a Class B liquor license approved for Playa Vallarta Mexican Grill Incorporated. I would so move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderwoman Byer. In discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approval of the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye as your name is called. No if you're opposed.
Alderman Lars.
Aye.
Tully.
Aye.
Kraus.
Aye.
Horn.
Aye.
Fire.
Aye.
Peachy.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you. Resolution number 40, a resolution requesting exemption from the county library tax. Alderwoman Byer, please.
Honorable Mayor, council members, and citizens, City of Jefferson Resolution Number 40. Resolution requesting exemption from the county library tax. Whereas the Jefferson County Board has established a county library service and levies a county library tax as authorized under Section 43.57, Parent 3 of the Wisconsin statutes, and whereas the Section 43.64, Parent 2, Parent B of the Wisconsin statutes provides that a village or city is exempt from the county library tax if it levies a tax for public library services and appropriates and extends for a library fund as defined by S 43.52, Parent 1 during the year for which the county tax levy is made a sum at least equal to the county library tax rate in the prior year multiplied by the equalized valuation of the property in the city or village or current year, And whereas the city of Jefferson will in 2020 appropriate and extend an amount in excess of that calculated above. Now therefore be it resolved that the city of Jefferson hereby requests that the city of the Jefferson County Board of Supervisors, that the city of Jefferson be exempt from the payment of tax for the support of the county library service as provided in section 43.64 parent 2. Be it further resolved that the copies of this resolution be forwarded by the city clerk to the following parties: Administrator, Jefferson County Library Council, Dwight Foster Public Library, and the county clerk, 320 South Main Street, Jefferson. I would so move.
It's been, second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Horn. In discussion. This is a procedural matter that we do on an annual basis. Does anyone have any questions about it?
It's essentially so people don't get double taxed.
Thank you. Good explanation. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor of approval of the exemption, please signify by saying aye as your name is called. No if you're opposed.
Alderman Tully.
Aye.
Kraus.
Aye.
Horn.
Aye.
Fire.
Aye.
Peachy.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Brandel.
Aye.
Lars.
Aye. It's unanimous. Thank you. Resolution number 41, a resolution authorizing a development agreement with the International Investment Group Corporation. Alderman Lars, please.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, fellow council members, citizens of Jefferson, City of Jefferson, Resolution Number 41, authorizing a development agreement with the International Investment Group Corporation. Whereas the International Investment Group Corporation, the developer, intends to construct a hotel/motel near the intersection of Junction Road and Business State Highway 26 near the State Highway 26 bypass interchange. And whereas the developer intends to construct an approximate 50-room hotel/motel at the location at the minimum cost of $5 million and will hire sufficient number of employees to properly staff the facility to be constructed. And whereas the developer has recently obtained a conditional usage permit from the Jefferson Plans Commissions and intends to begin construction of the project by January 1st, 2020. And whereas the City of Jefferson desires to encourage economic development and expand its tax bases, create new jobs, and attract industry within the city. And now therefore be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Jefferson, Wisconsin, that it herein approves the development agreement with the International Investment Group Corporation located at 140 North Wildwood Street, Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, for the construction of an approximately 50-unit hotel/motel, and authorize the mayor and the city clerk to execute the development agreement on behalf of the City of Jefferson upon the review and consent of the city attorney. I so move.
Moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Brandel. In discussion?
Mohammed, I assume you've read the developers agreement? Any changes, questions, deletions?
No, everything's.
Okay.
I would like to welcome the members of the International Investment Group here tonight. Michelle, Mohammed, Gus, and Tim. Welcome. Do you have anything that you would like to add?
Mohammed, would this resolution be, if it may be approved, when would you plan on starting the development? I know what we say before January 1st, or how far along, or?
Our goal is to do it before the frost, break ground before the frost.
So we have site, state plan approval, 11/20.
Okay.
So we are doing an early foundation proposal to the state, so our hope is be 11/20.
When, if that does come through before 11, or at 11:20, when would you plan on opening, or is there a set?
Opening would be March or April of next year.
Very good, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All in favor of approval, please signify by saying aye as Sarah calls your name. No if you're opposed.
Kraus. Alderman Horn.
Aye.
Fire.
Aye.
Peachy.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Lars.
Aye.
Tully.
It's unanimous. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for
No,
your.
we're not done, it's just
interest
starting
and
now.
questions.
Stick around, yeah.
And thank you for choosing to do business in Jefferson. We really appreciate it.
Now the easy part.
Next, we'll move on to resolution number 42, a resolution providing for the sale of approximately $2.295 million of general obligation promissory notes, Series 219A. Alderman Peachy, please.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor Opperman, fellow council members, and citizens of Jefferson. Resolution number 42. Whereas the city of Jefferson, Jefferson County, Wisconsin, known as the city, is presently in need of approximately $2.295 million for public purposes, including paying the cost of replacing an ambulance, constructing swimming pool improvements, constructing a parks maintenance storage facility, upgrading citywide communication networks, library improvements, acquisition of public works plow truck, and projects in tax increment District Number 5. And whereas it is desirable to borrow said funds through the issuance of general obligation promissory notes pursuant to Section 67.12, Parent 12 of the Wisconsin statutes, now therefore be it resolved by the Common Council of the city that, Section 1, the notes, the city shall issue its general obligation promissory notes, Series 2019A, in an approximate amount of $2.295 million, known as the notes, for the purpose above specified. Section 2, sale of the notes. The Common Council hereby authorizes and directs that the notes be offered for public sale. At a subsequent meeting, the Common Council shall consider such bids for the notes as may have been received and take action thereon. Section 3, notice of note sale. The city clerk, in consultation with Ehlers and Associate, Inc., known as Ehlers, be and hereby is directed to cause notice of the sale of the notes to be disseminated in such manner and at such times as the city clerk may determine, and to cause copies of a complete notice of sale and other pertinent data to be forwarded to interested bidders as the city clerk may determine. Section 4, official statement. The city clerk shall cause an official statement concerning this issue to be prepared by Ehlers. The appropriate city official shall determine when the official statement is final for purpose of Securities and Exchange Commission Rule 15C2-12 and shall certify said official statement, such certification to constitute full authorization of such official statement under this resolution. I would so move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Miller. In discussion?
Honorable Mayor, during our earlier council meeting, Ms. Dawn Gunderson from Ethers had provided us a lot of information, and it seems by going in this route, that our net rate of total debt service should be reduced over the next 5 years. So I would approve of this bond issue.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
This was unanimous at.
That's what she told me.
Thank you. Tim, did you have anything else you'd like to add? Okay. This was discussed earlier at the Committee of the Whole meeting with our bond counsel. Alderman Horn is correct. It's a very favorable time for the city to take on a bond issuance of this type, and it's going to be in a good, put us in good position for years to come in the next 5 years. So if there are no other questions or comments, all in favor of approval of resolution number 42, please signify by saying aye as Sarah calls your name.
Alderman Horn.
Aye.
Fire.
Aye.
Peachy.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Lars.
Aye.
Tully. Kraus.
It's unanimous. Next to resolution number 43, a resolution authorizing lease of a city-owned vehicle. Alderman Kraus, please.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, fellow council members, and citizens of Jefferson. Resolution number 43, authorizing lease of city-owned vehicle. Whereas the city of Jefferson was awarded a Section 5311 program of the Federal Transit Administration, FTA, grant to purchase a handicapped accessible rear entry van in the amount of $36,178 per the state of Wisconsin bid program. The proceeds of said grant provided reimbursement to the city in an amount representing approximately 80% of the cost of the van, minus the recovered insurance proceeds. And whereas the city will pay for its portion of the vehicle estimated to cost $1,704 plus the cost to title and license the vehicle with shared taxi ride program fund balance proceeds. And whereas the city placed the handicap accessible vehicle in service with its shared taxi ride program service provider, Brown Cab Services Incorporated, upon delivery. And now therefore be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Jefferson, Wisconsin, that it herein amends the ratified vehicle lease agreement adopted originally in 2016, which meets Wisconsin Department of Transportation requirements between the city and Brown Cab Services Incorporated for a period of 5 years commencing January 1, 2016, or upon delivery and placement of said vehicle into service. Be it further resolved by the Common Council that the city administrator is authorized to execute the vehicle lease agreement and other documents associated with this matter on behalf of the city of Jefferson upon the review and consent of the city attorney. I would so move.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderwoman Byer. Any discussion?
For the 5 years commencing 2016, is that correct, or should it be 2019?
Tim?
Actually, that is correct, Jim. I think this was discussed at Finance quite some time ago. The 2016 van that we had written the grant for and placed in service with our shared taxi ride provider was in an accident.
Yep.
The insurance company totaled it out. We reapplied basically with the Department of Transportation for a new grant coupled with the loss value that the insurance company paid. We had to make a small payment, about $1,700, but we do have a new van. It has arrived. It basically is about to be put in service. The 5 years you asked about, Jim, is a fulfillment of the lease that started in 2016. So
Okay.
we're mid-lease period now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor of approval, please signify by saying aye as Sarah calls your name. No, if you're opposed.
Alderman Byer.
Aye.
Peachy.
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Lars.
Aye.
Tully.
Aye.
Kraus. Horn.
Thank you. It's unanimous. This time I'll entertain a motion to adjourn to closed session pursuant to section 19.85, parent 1E of the Wisconsin State Statutes to discuss the purchase of a property.
So moved.
Mr. Lars?
Second.
Second by Mr. Brandel. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no? Okay, we are adjourned to closed session. We will be adjourning our formal meeting without doing any more business, but, okay. Yes, we'll do that before we go into closed session here. Okay, thank you, and good night. You want to just hang on a second? You get?